Now we're going to look at the common table expression in SQL Server. Temporary result that you can set, that you can reference within the select and the inside the update or the delete statement. So common table expressions are used to simplify complex queries by breaking them down into simpler parts, just making them more readable and maintainable. And it's just defined using the with clause, and it exists only during the execution of the query. Now, it does have some benefits. First is improve readability. So by you just separate by separating parts of complex queries into common table expressions, you make the overall logic easier to understand. And then recursive queries, so that's another benefit. So it allows it for recursive queries, which are useful for just dealing with um, hierarchical data or a tree structured data, and then code reusability. So you can they can be referenced multiple times within the same query, reducing that redundancy. Suppose we have as to do the example, suppose we have the employees hierarchy. Suppose we have the employees table with the employee ID, first name, last name, and manager ID. So where the manager ID references the employee ID of the employee's manager, who's the manager. So you want to create a report showing the hierarchy of employees and their managers. Okay, so before we do that, we'll have to edit our employees table, and then because we do not have the manager ID, alter table employees, and then we will add a manager ID. And then we can make it nullable. We can make it null. This is just to ensure this is just to make it that for employees that don't have managers. Okay, so we can, so the manager himself is not going to have a manager, so we can make it nullable, and we can go ahead and execute. All right, we're supposed to, now what we want, so in this command, it adds a new column, manager ID, to the employees table, which can hold a null values indicating that employee might not have a manager, such as maybe CEO. Um, and then the second thing that we want to do is to add, we want to enforce a referential integrity, ensuring that every manager ID in the employees table correctly references the employee's ID in the same table. So we can add a foreign key constraint. So we will just add a new query here, and then we alter um, table employees, and then we add a constraint. Let's just call it FK employees. So that's references employees. ID. Then we can execute this. Okay, I think I had a spelling problem there. Manager, right? Execute, then everything. So basically on this command, we're just creating a foreign key on the manager ID column, linking it back to the employee column within the employees table. So I mean, in SQL Server, not only you can link a table or add a foreign key to another table or link a table to another table, but you can also link a table to itself using the update employees, and then set the manager ID. Then we will just say select employee ID. So we want to grab the employee ID from our table from employees, where first name first name is, we start with Jane. So Jane will report first name is Emily. So this command sets Jane as a manager for Emily. Okay. Okay, so let's also select, just to check it, so we can select all from employees. Let me check there. So we can see now that Emily is reporting to 2, which is Jane. With the others, let's say, so this one will have now. So let's say we want Jane to report to John. So how do we set that? So we can just do this. Let me just copy it. So set employee ID where first name is John. So we insert into the first name, and then where first name is John, and then first name is Jane. So Jane must report to John. Okay, there we go. So you can see now Jane reports to John. All right. So, but we can always use the join to actually show the manager. So we can actually use the join. So we want, maybe if we can display the name of it's very simple. We're just gonna say, let's just remove this. So, or I can actually comment out this. Let's comment out this one. So we can instead, let's just remove the update of our table. So instead, we can actually say select e dot first name, and then as employee first name, and then E dot last name. Let's just do like this. Let's copy. All right, so we need what? We need the last name here. Last name is last name, and then we'll have a first part but as, so let's just say M, because this is going to be for manager. M of first name, and then M last name is manager, and then a manager. And then from employees, E, and then we can actually use the left join in this situation. Steps. Okay, so we can use the left join because we actually referring to the same table. So it's employees M on E dot manager ID, where is equals to M dot employee ID. So instead of just showing the numbers, then we can actually do it like that. Then you can see now that the manager for John, sorry, the manager for Jane is actually John, and then the manager for Emily is Jane. All right, so we can actually update the rest as well. Now looking at the left join, we've got that E is an alias that is used for employees table, and then M is the alias that represents the managers. So we perform the left join to ensure that all employees are listed, including those without managers. For example, the CEO, if the CEO does not join, is a CEO and doesn't have a manager. Hopefully that makes sense. So just think of this like we organizing maybe a family tree within the book where each page can refer to another page in the same book. So we add the manager IDs, like we adding a space on each page to write the page number of the parent or maybe the guardian of the person on the page. So the foreign key constraint that we used here, it ensures that every page number written is valid and it also exists somewhere in the book, preventing references of non-existent pages. So when we're updating the manager ID to establish that relationship, it's like we're filling out those spaces with the correct page numbers, ensuring that all family members are actually included. So in this example, the recursive CTE for employees hierarchy, it acts like exploring this tree from a trunk upwards, identifying each branch and leaf and understanding how they connect back to the trunk. So it starts at the root, which is the CO, which is John, and then explores each main branch, which is the managers like Jane, and then the smaller branch, or which is the leaf, or rather employees, mapping out the entire tree structure or the company hierarchy. So this is just an analogy to help you to visualize the hierarchical structure within the organization and how the recursive CTE iteratively explores the hierarchy but layer by layer to build comprehensive view of the organization's structure. We can actually take it a step further. Let's say you see here we only updated a single record, right? We only updated a single record. What if we want to update multiple records which is it's in a more efficient way. We can actually consider using a temporal table or a table variable to hold the desired employee manager relationship, and then we perform an update from that table. So this is just an approach that allows batch updating based on the match conditions. We can actually do it this way. Okay, I'm gonna come back to this. We'll do it this way. We can declare a table variable. I know we have not actually covered the variables yet, so but we can declare at, let's just call it manager updates table, and then we will have employees employees first name. Let's say varchar, just make it 50, it's not that long. And then we'll have also the employees last name, or rather employee last name. Let's just make this one because it's one employee. We can also make it varchar varchar 50, and then we can have the manager first name. We can also, I'm just going to push this down a little bit so that we can have actually more space. And then let's just make it varchar a 50 is fine. The length of 50 should be fine. And then we have the manager last name. And then we can also do the same. All right, so it should be fine. And then we must just make sure that we close this. All right, so we have that variable, and then we will actually insert the desired updates into the table variable. So we'll insert into add manager updates, which is our variable, and then we want to insert the employee employee first name, employee first name. Then we want to insert the employee last name, and then we'll insert the manager first name, and then finally the manager last name. And then the values. So let's say now so let's say we've got, I just want to go and see what I have there. Let's take Emily Clark. Okay, Emily Clark is already. Let's take Charlie Johnson. So we've got Charlie Johnson. And then Charlie Johnson reports to Jane. And then I didn't check what's Jane's Jane Doe surname to Jane Doe. Doe. And then let's take one more. So you can add more fields as you want. So let's take maybe someone else. Let's take this Derek Shepherd. Say we say Derek Shepherd maybe reports to Alice Smith. So we can take let's take Derek. So it's a Derek Shepherd. I just need to check the last name there if it's correct. Derek Shepherd. Okay. There is no E there. Shepherd, like that. And then let's say Derek reports to uh, Alice Smith. Okay, let's just fix the issues here. So we can actually add more data as well that way as needed. And then the next thing, this one, okay, I'm missing a closure there. Okay, here's a problem here. We must just remove that. So it's Jane Doe. And then for Derek. All right, now it's fine. And then we can perform the update by joining the employees table with the table variable. Now we'll just say update e set e dot manager id manager id, and then where is m dot manager id, sorry, where is m dot employee id. Okay, employee id, then from our table employees e, and then we join each manager updates. Let's say mu for manager updates on e dot first name, where is mu dot employee employee first name, and then we do the same thing with the last name. So last name, so we say at n e dot last name, where is a mu dot employee last name. Okay, and then we join it again with employee. So then we join employees m on m dot first name, where is mu dot manager's first name, and then end m dot last name, where is mu dot manager's last name. So this is a batch updating technique. All right, that streamlines the process, especially when you're having multiple employees manager relationships that you need to update simultaneously. Now, I'm just gonna go ahead and copy my select or my select statement on the previous statement that we've done, and then so that we can finally just select there just to see the results. So if we go ahead and update this, then we can actually see now that we've got more people reporting to different managers. We can see Emily, Charlie Johnson, I think that's the one that we did. It reports to Jane. There is Charlie Johnson. So this is where we actually created that relationship. And then Derek, um, why is Derek null now? Some reason Derek is null. Maybe Alice Smith. Okay. Maybe it is just something that we didn't do correct. All right. So that's how we can actually use bash to do multiple or to insert bash uh, by using a temporary table. So this is just a bash updating technique that will help us to when we have a multiple employee manager relationships.